Hello people, welcome back. Ryan's World is a massive kids entertainment channel sitting at 37 million subscribers. This channel has made the host of the show, aka Ryan, a multi-millionaire by age 6. Back then, videos of him were going viral where his parents filmed him opening up surprise eggs, going down blow-up water slides, and even playing hide and seek. All these videos were made for toddlers to watch, with Ryan as a toddler himself being the host. Their channel was peaking way back in 2016 though. It's now 2024, around 8 years later, and Ryan is now 12 years old. And recently there's been a lot of TikToks and YouTube videos circulating saying that Ryan's parents need to let him grow up.
199,998, 999,999, 1 million. Morning workout complete. I'm ready for superhero school. While I head to school, check out this clip from Ryan's World, the movie Titan Universe Adventure.
And yeah, I mean, it's pretty weird to see this almost teenager doing the same stuff his parents would have him do as a toddler on camera. But also, recently, Ryan and his family went on a podcast, and it revealed a lot of interesting information. Some of it shows that stuff behind the scenes may not be as bad as we think, but also there is some concerning things mentioned during the podcast. Now, the title of this podcast claims that it's a Ryan interview, but throughout the whole thing, Ryan barely gets a chance to speak, and his parents kind of just talk for him or talk over him in some moments. It's still interesting nonetheless, but it does get a little bit frustrating, just a warning. Anyways though, I went through the whole podcast for you guys, picked out all the relevant information to this topic, and we're going to cover all of that. But for starters, this was said.
We produce over probably 20 videos each week.
Each week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not all of them has Ryan.
Yeah.
That's what you're wondering.
But the reason why we streamlined the work on the production was because we want to minimize Ryan's participation on camera. So we introduced animated characters who could take over some of the camera participation. So we minimized Ryan's filming time each week to 30 minutes to 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
While we're producing that amount of the content.
And Ryan, what's your day-to-day like in the content and the videos that go out?
Well, usually we film on the weekends because that's when I have the most time. Because like other days I have school and then extracurricular activities. So, yeah, that's usually when I film.
So a point that a lot of these videos talking about Ryan were making is that they need to give him some space and let him grow up. And they actually are doing that to an extent anyways. I mean, as you just heard, he only films for around an hour a week on the weekends. Well, that's what they claim anyways, so we're taking their word on that. But I don't see why they would make something like that up. And I mean, like I said, it is pretty weird to have him in these like scenes and stuff as a kid entering his teens. And sometimes it looks like he's a little uncomfortable in the clips. But if he's making this much money for only showing up for like an hour once a week during his weekend, I don't think it's that big of a problem. However though, it is questionable what happened to him growing up, the way his parents kind of just gave him toys and stuff and had a camera pointing at him all the time. I mean, he does have hella bread now, so that's definitely a benefit, but I think parents using their kids for money and views is not so good because the kid can't really choose if they want to do it or not. And I mean, if they're growing up just being used to a camera always being in their face, even if they say they were okay with it or that they like doing the videos, there's a big chance the only reason he liked doing the videos was because he was getting a ton of free toys and getting spoiled. So I don't know, it's kind of a moral dilemma here, but I guess it's not much to sacrifice to set up generational wealth. I don't know. Tough situation, but now it seems better for him and as if they're actually trying to give him space to grow up. It is questionable how much more money they need though.
Was there a moment that you're like, oh, what we're doing as a family is different than other families?
Yeah. I like realized when like people recognize me and they're like, hey, you're Ryan. I just realized that we were famous off of it and that it was a thing that people didn't normally do.
Yeah, but we want to make sure, the YouTube doesn't become just majority of Ryan's, daily life. So one thing we prioritize was his schoolwork and his private life. And, one of the reasons why we moved from Houston to Hawaii 3 years ago was Ryan's education.
See, so that's actually good. They're prioritizing his private life and school life, which is essential, which is the completely right thing to do. So good on them for that. Check mark.
You're on track to be a teenage billionaire doing YouTube.
That's actually bizarre to think about. Teenage billionaire, because his parents filmed him opening up toys and posted it on YouTube. Like I said earlier, there's definitely a trade-off, but I don't know. I think personally, I would have been okay with my mom spoiling me with toys, shoving a camera in my face, if it meant I would be a teenage billionaire. But the thing is, there's no way for my mom to know that I would have been okay with that. So that's where it's kind of weird if she just started doing it, which, by the way, that never happened. I was never a kid YouTuber.
But I remember being your age and just changing my mind every day in terms of what I wanted to be when I grew up. You know, I wanted to be an astronaut, then I wanted to be an NBA player. I'm curious, like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be like an animator. I think it's really fun to do because like the drawing and then like at the end you get to see the whole thing and see what you've like worked on the whole time. And like sometimes I can see like the drafts first, and then after I can see like the full thing. And it's really cool to see how it changes over time.
Now imagine though, he does become an animator and then his whole life just becomes him animating videos of himself as a toddler. I hope to God if he becomes an animator, he doesn't work on this channel and he like gets to work on some cool projects and stuff. Hopefully that's what comes out of that if he actually does go through with that.
Is there a day where the YouTube channels will be fully animation? Like, Ryan, are you going to keep making YouTube videos, given your interest to be an animator and maybe go behind the camera, like as you get older?
I think I will keep going for a while, yeah.
So there he mentions that he does actually plan on being on the Ryan's World channel for a while as a person. As we know, they were mentioning like replacing him with animations of him, but it seems like he's okay with keeping up the weekly schedule of about an hour of film time and still appearing on the channel. But that begs the question, how old will he be doing these videos? Like, does he plan to go on for another decade? Is he going to be like 21 years old dressing up as a superhero? I don't know, man. Definitely does have to stop eventually, right? It's already kind of awkward now. I can't imagine what it would look like 5 years from now, let alone 10 years from now.
How do you guys think about the future of the channel, and how much of that relies on having a human component as your kids get older?
You know, one thing we're thinking about is we want to make sure we cater toward the existing fan. 5 to 8 years old are our core demographic. But at the same time, Ryan's growing up and then he has new interests. We want to cater toward his new interests as well, new field. So maybe we'll start a new one, and then this Ryan's World channel, the existing one, maybe, yeah, like you said, animated character could take over a little bit, and we would probably start casting some other on-camera kid talents and then on-camera talents who could carry same essence that Ryan had. So we still harness the same connection we established through these past years with the fans.
That's also interesting. They say maybe they'll just make Ryan's World fully animated or something like that, or they'll hire other talents to be a new Ryan. It's kind of weird if you think about it, but I mean, I don't know, Blippi was successful with that, so maybe it would work. But I don't know about having him start his own channel unless he actually wanted to do that. Otherwise, it just isn't necessary, right? Like, he should actually really want to do it. Otherwise, scrap that. Let him go. Let him move on from YouTube.
Oh, wow. So if somebody would have asked, like, how much does Ryan get to keep of all this? The answer is 100% for
his TV series.
His TV series and equity in the ownership as well.
The ownership of the percentage of the ownership of the company goes to his trust account too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they say there he gets 100% of the money from his TV show, which I'm sure is a good chunk of money, and that's a really cool thing to hear. Also, I wonder what his cut is from the main channel. I imagine it's decent, but you just never know. Like, who's benefiting more from the channel is what I want to know. Are the parents benefiting more, or is Ryan benefiting more? Because 100% it should be the main personality on the channel, Ryan, who's benefiting the most. And though the parents do all the stuff behind the scenes, they're the ones who made the choice to start this and point all the cameras at their son. So it doesn't matter how much they work behind the scenes, Ryan should be getting the highest cuts. And I just really hope that it's that way, because that's how it should be.
I know the president of Pocket Watch, Chris Williams, said that SpongeBob is to Nickelodeon as Ryan is to YouTube in this next generation. First of all, how does a quote like that make you feel? Like, that's a big, big statement.
Oh, SpongeBob and you? Oh, what do you think, Ryan?
Pretty big.
Did you grow up watching SpongeBob, or was that like past your generation?
I think a little bit when I was younger. I think I watched a little bit of SpongeBob.
You watched definitely Paw Patrol when you're growing up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a stretch. The next SpongeBob. Well, I mean, first of all, SpongeBob is worldwide famous. And also, he had like a huge impact on a whole generation, honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong, the new SpongeBob sucks and it's having a different impact. But the OG SpongeBob, which is what I'm talking about, that had a true impact that I don't think will ever be able to be matched. And saying that Ryan's World could potentially be the next SpongeBob, yeah, 100% not.
Emma and Kate never done TV before with Ryan. Ryan's been doing 4 seasons of TV, but Emma and Kate never done it because they were too young. But when we came up with the script, we put big role with Emma and Kate because in 2 years we knew they're gonna be ready.
Yeah, and those are your twins.
Yes.
Who are
yeah.
7 years old right now.
Yeah.
How do you think about involving them in the content and the family business?
They grew up watching Ryan, so they're always inspired by their older brother. And so in the first few years, I kind of film them now and then, but it's kind of just like a vlog style. It's not anything. But, you know, once they reach a certain age, they told me they're ready to just start making videos where, you know, like they can do it by themselves, you know, without Ryan being in it, without, you know, help of anybody else. They really enjoy the whole process. They love watching themselves after. And I always try to make it fun for them. And the movie was also a big step for them, but they nailed it. And I'm just very proud of them.
Now, that's probably the most concerning thing I heard during this whole entire interview. Oh, eventually our twins will be ready to hop in and start making content. They already said they enjoy it. Well, yeah, here we go. We're repeating the whole entire cycle. Of course they're gonna enjoy making videos where they get to unbox a ton of toys and be spoiled. They're not old enough to tell you whether or not they actually want all of this fame, but it seems like they have plans to basically repeat this whole entire Ryan's World thing, but with their twins, potentially on a new channel. And I'm not for that. Like, how much money do you need? You're already gonna be making billions, potentially, off of the Ryan's World brand. They're really gonna go and start a whole other brand with their twin daughters? Seems pretty greedy. I don't know how I feel about that.
When you guys look ahead, like any other projects that you're most excited about, like the future of the channel, like how do you think about the future of Ryan's World and your business and your family?
Yeah, right now I feel like we're at the tipping point where like the movie it's a great moment, and then from there, you know, we wanted to kind of step aside and think about what we want to go. Ryan's turning 13 years old this year, so he's turning teenager. So we're thinking about, do we want to introduce something like that align with his age, like more aligned to the preteen demographic, or we want to stay on with the going more for the animation. That's something we're kind of debating right now. But you know, I feel like there's high demand for older demographic for Ryan, so we're kind of thinking about it. But I want to make sure, you know, Ryan's time is well balanced, and you know.
Yeah, all the people saying Ryan needs to grow up, it seems like they actually are giving him room to grow up. So there you have it. The rest is just bonus information, I guess. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed, which you had to have enjoyed at least a little bit, I mean, you watched till the end of my video, then go down below and like the video and also subscribe. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and that's only possible with your help. So please subscribe. Anyways, guys, click this video right here to watch more. Go to KeidBoi.com to get your limited edition Halloween merch. I know it's early September, but if you wanted to have the Halloween merch for the Halloween season, then go ahead and order it now and you'll have it in your hands for the season. Wow, that's why it's out early, guys. I know it's not Halloween yet. Come on. So many comments saying that. Anyways, guys, bye.